Can you see Lily?
Yeah. Yeah, I can see Lala. Okay, Lala's gonna be the spokesperson for our conversation today.
Okay, sure.
Perfect. Yeah, so you guys have been trying this new thing. Well, I don't even know if it's new or not. Um, but it's called L-Tyrosine, and yeah, I can see the bottle. Maybe if you put it a little to your left, it would be my right, and a little bit higher. Perfect. And it looks like the company that makes this particular one is called Now. Is that right?
Yep.
Cool. So how did you hear about this? Because it's actually been on my list for a really long time to try this. I was going to use it to deal with my own seasonal depression. But yeah, I hadn't picked it up yet, and then you messaged me and said you've been trying this, so I'd love to hear more.
Well, Lala's mother is the one that told me about it.
Yeah?
Very grateful because it's changed my whole life. And I suggested it to your brother, and he really likes it. I suggested to another friend who's using it and is finding not quite the same results that I get, but she's having better days. The health food store that I went into to buy it, because I bought 3 bottles to give to your brother, she said, so L-Tyrosine, what is that good for? What is it for? And I said, well, let me tell you. And I said, my friend, I told about Janine, how she'd said that it helps promote the making of dopamine. And I'm already on antidepressants, but I'm on a serotonin reuptake inhibitor. And it just seems like I can keep increasing my dose and it's just not helping me.
Mm-hmm.
She told me to take 500 milligrams in the morning with no food. So I bought it. And when I bought it from that health food store, that lady had asked me about it. And I told her the results that I had from it. And I said I was going to let my son try it. And she said, that's amazing, because she was just telling her coworker that she's been having trouble with depression. So I said, wait, let me buy you a bottle. And I said, try it before you leave. So she goes, no. And I said, no, I bought her a small bottle. And I have to go back there and ask her how she's feeling. I don't know. But, I think that it's, for me, I have spiritual things that I do as well. But as far as brain chemistry goes, I think that it's been very, very helpful. And actually, some of the things on YouTube, we watched a YouTube video about it, and it talks about how it's got something to do with the hormones and the thyroid. And they actually had done a ultrasound of my shoulder for my surgery, and they found a nodule on my thyroid. So it could be that I actually have a problem with my thyroid, but I don't even really know it. But I can tell you for a fact that from the first day I tried it, and I do, because the bottle says you can take up to 3 a day, and I'm bigger than Janine, so I figured I'll try too. I haven't felt anything but great. Every day is better. And
That's awesome. Wow.
Your brother tried it, and he thought he felt good, but he was a little bit suspecting that maybe it was just because he was visiting and, positive things were happening and talking about different things. And he thought that it was just kind of a fluke, but he kept taking it, and he found, and you can interview him, he found that it helps his attention, because he's got ADD, and he used to be on Wellbutrin, and he hasn't been taking it, but he knows that he needs something, and he was looking for something. So he tried it. He said it helps him with his attention, his thinking. He said that even when he's having a bad day, it doesn't seem like a really bad day. It's not a big deal, which I think he probably got some of that from his dad, because his dad used to think that everything that kind of happened was like a mountain rather than just like a stepping stone that you step over and move on. But it was so emotionally charged that it would kind of really throw him off. And so I think that Ethan might have been having that issue as well, but he saying that he feels really good. And he said he now knows that it's definitely that because it's been consistent, the same as me from the moment that I've started taking it. It just gets better and better.
It's so interesting to hear that you're talking about that it works with dopamine, because I was actually just in my own research on how my brain chemistry works. I feel like my levels of serotonin are actually quite stable, but I feel like it's the dopamine that my brain is just never quite producing enough of.
Well, let me let you refer this over to Janine now, because she's the one that told me about how, and she can tell you her experience, how she found it, because she's the one that told me about it. And she is my source, so I'll let you talk to her.
Okay.
Can you see me?
I can see, yeah, there we go. Yeah, nice ponytail.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so I'm aware of the fact when you have depression, if it's about something or if it's about a chemical, And so anyway, because of that, I figured there's some chemical that I'm not getting in my body. And so I think that what I did was, when I lived in Arizona, I went to a specific health food store, and there was a very knowledgeable lady that worked there. And I was asking her about that because I was reading about it in a book by Dirk Pearson. I don't know if you ever heard of Dirk Pearson.
Dirk Pearson. No, I haven't. What was the book?
And Sandy Shaw. They wrote a book called Life Extension.
Wow.
And they wrote it in like the 90s, sometime in the 90s. Anyway, the both of them, to me, they're like, they're chemists, I think, and they experimented with a lot of different things, and they said they spoke L-Tyrosine. And so I asked the lady in the store about it, and she said, yeah, there's a lot of people that take that, and it seems to work really well. So that's the first time I took it. And I noticed right away it works. And the longer you take it, the better it works, because
really, because it creates new pathways.
Yeah, and then it's not like something you have to take all the time, because then when you start feeling really good, then you could stop taking it. And you know what I mean? It's like a vitamin or whatever. You could tell when, like I know the doctor often says I have to take vitamin D, but then he could tell if I've had enough of it, and so I can stop taking it. So it's the same with the tyrosine.
It's an amino acid.
It's an amino acid.
Okay, I was just going to ask. So it works with the neurotransmitter dopamine, and it's an amino acid.
A neurotransmitter, yeah.
Yeah, and it also helps regulate your hormones and stuff.
And it has something to do with the thyroid. It does something to the thyroid too. It's a nutrient for the thyroid, I think. And when your thyroid isn't working properly, you can also get depression or whatever.
Mm-hmm. I can imagine. If it's going too slow, then it's not working properly. Your metabolism, plus your whole system is moving too slow.
Yeah.
So I think that I've always had problems with my hormones. We've had discussions before about how I needed hormones to keep my pregnancies, and then I needed hormones to deliver my pregnancies, the ones that I were able to carry. So my body has probably always had difficulty with regulating the hormones. So I was really surprised, because I was really down and out, and I didn't know what else to do anymore. And Janine suggested it. She said, when you lose your sense of joy, and I really had lost my feeling of being able to feel joy, she said, And someone had, that's how she heard about it, and that she thought that maybe she would try it, and she tried it, and she said that she did benefit from it. And I tried it, and I definitely benefited from it. And your brother is now trying it, and he's benefiting from it. So it has multiple uses. I'm actually going to my therapist on Friday, and because I had upped my dose of Prozac, I'm actually going to talk to her about reducing it. I would like to see if I can actually reduce it and still have the positive effects from the L-Tyrosine. And maybe I don't need the SSRI anymore. I don't
Oh,
know.
that's exciting. Wow.
So I'll tell you how that works, because I need her permission, obviously. But I started out with 20 milligrams of Prozac, and I'm taking 60 now. So I'm hoping to downsize it. And the reason I upped it is because I was feeling so poorly. And I know about 8 years ago, I had been taking Prozac for like 20 years, and it just stopped working for me. So obviously something happened in my brain chemistry, and I had to try to go find another cocktail, a brain cocktail, and nothing seemed to work. So I begged this therapist that I have now, probably 6 months ago or so, to let me try to go back on Prozac. So when I'm increasing it and I'm feeling it's just not as effective, I'm concerned that I am having a negative reaction to it again, like it's not going to be effective anymore. As soon as I started taking the L-Tyrosine, it was immediate, like
Wow.
all better. It was all better. You can I mean, if you're sensitive to medications, and I feel like I am, I think Janine is, and I think you might be, you know right away. Like I know, like they say when you're first starting depression medication is going to take 6 weeks. You can tell right away. If you know you're enough, you know you're feeling better right away. I knew I felt better that first day, and every day afterwards it just got better and better, and it stayed more consistent, and I feel like I'm really leveling off, and I feel like I'm in a good place.
That's awesome. Wow. You look really upbeat and happy. I mean, last time I saw you, you definitely looked like you were doing well, but you could tell that you're in some kind of pain. Sure.
I was definitely in a funk. Now this, I don't know how you guys can get it over there, but this was 120 capsules, and it's 500 milligrams, and that's the suggested dose. And it was only $15.99. I think that you can probably go online and Amazon or whatever, and you might be able to order it and have them ship it to you, maybe a little cheaper.
Yeah, I'll go online and see if I can find some links, and then I'll post it with this video.
To make sure that it's the real thing.
And how do you do that?
It says L-Tyrosine, and it says free form, and it says 500 micrograms. Nope, 500 milligrams. Sorry, my eyes are bad.
What does free form relate to?
I don't really know, to be honest with you. It just says, this is made from Illinois.
Could it be because it's a powder? Is that what free form
Well,
means?
it says right here, it says the L-Tyrosine used in this product is pharmaceutical grade. So that is probably what's important. I think I suggested this to Erin, you know Erin, and she doesn't seem to have benefited from it, but hers is a different company. I don't know if that has something to do with it or not.
And this one's called Wow, right?
Now.
This company, Now, okay. Now, Wow.
Yep.
And what does the L-tyrosine come from? Is it a plant, or where do they source it from?
Well, it's a chemical that your body, this is what it says on the bottle. It says neurotransmitter support.
It's a protein. It has something to do, it comes from a protein.
It's an amino acid. It's a form of, there are many different other ones that they have, and they usually start with the letter L too, that do different things in your body. L-Tyrosine seems to help with these things. It says that it's a neurotransmitter support. It says it's pharmaceutical grade. It says healthy glandular function. And then it says supports mental alertness. And I would say that it absolutely does all those things. And on the back of the bottle, it says amino acids. So it's something that your body normally has or makes anyways. But at some point, either my brain chemistry or something happened that it wasn't making it on its own well anymore. Or maybe it wasn't capable. Maybe my hormones are messed up and it's just not capable of making it anymore. Or maybe it's because I've been on SSRIs for, 25, 30 years. I don't know. All I can say is
I don't think you're alone in that either. I think that especially in the modern American population, that seems to be quite citizen. I don't think you're alone. It could do with our diet. It could do with the lifestyle,
Absolutely.
and of course some genetic disposition to certain thyroid problems or yeah.
Well, I found it interesting that there was a correlation by the fact that they found that nodule on my thyroid, and I had been feeling so poorly, in that the Prozac, even though I upped the dose, would be okay for a few days, but then it would just seem like it wasn't working anymore. I would be very tearful. I would be very anxious. I would be very insecure. And it was really a struggle. I didn't know what to do. I was scared because I felt like I didn't know how to get myself out of this hole. And took one dose, and from the first dose, it was so much better. I tell everybody about it. So
That's good. Yeah, I want to spread the word because, yeah, like I said, it's been on my list. I have a vitamin shopping list, and I try a new one every time I go to the vitamin shop. But I'm kicking this one up to the top because I think that we're related. You're my mom, so genetically we have the same predisposition.
well, and I think that your brother, I mean, it isn't just me. It's just as your brother. He's your brother, and he's from it, and he's got ADD. He's got other depression issues. So for him to have benefited with, he's not taking anything anymore. He's not taking Wellbutrin or anything, and he really didn't want to go back to go see a therapist or something to get back on it. So for him to be able to buy something over the counter that works this well, this cheaply, was very amazing to him. So I'm a promoter of it because I just, whatever.
Is it $16 or something? 16?
It's $15.99 for 120 pills.
Oh, that's great. And how long will that last you?
Well, because I take 2 a day, it'll last me 2 months.
That's for 16. You can't even get prescriptions that these days.
No. I pay more for my Prozac, so I'll be happy. I'll be happy to go down on that dose and maybe even eliminate it. Who knows? This has significantly changed my life, my outlook, everything. It's really seems to have provided whatever it was that I was missing.
Mm-hmm.
So
and sometimes you can really feel it too. You feel like, oh, there's something that's not going in there. It's like the train is on the tracks, but it's not moving, or spinning.
Yeah.
The wheels are spinning, but it's not quite going.
Yeah, there's actually a YouTube video that Janine and I watched together about it, and he was also promoting it very much.
Do you remember who it was?
Do you remember?
Yeah, I'm gonna try to find
She's gonna try to find it.
Okay, I'll put a link to that as well so people can find out more.
Yeah, I think he does certain.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, that's okay. I just think that he does things with. Does he use like natural food products, and he's kind of into natural remedies, I guess.
This is what it's called. A nootropics expert.
A nootropics expert. Is it on your screen? Let me take a screenshot.
I think this is one of them that I was listening to.
Can you see that?
Oh, it didn't get to the thing yet.
Oh, it's okay though. I will find him. I wrote down and I'll find him.
Yeah,
and I'll put a
nootropics
link.
expert.
I'm David Tillman, author of nootropicsexpert.com.
That's not the same
Yeah.
guy.
No, this is another one, but he's very good too.
Yeah. So there's several.
Yeah, there's several of them.
That's
So-
awesome. And it seems like it's been around for quite a while, even though, yeah, I
It's
haven't heard of it.
Yeah.
It's an amino acid that's been around since the creation of man because
Yeah.
we have it in our body. So it's just that they figured out how to make it pharmaceutically.
In the 90s, maybe, or even earlier.
Or then.
It was probably even before that. It's, you know,
Wow.
whenever,
That's
And
just
this
one
has been a quiet pot of gold stacked far, far underneath a bunch of pharmaceuticals. It sounds like.
yeah. Yeah, it's very liberating. You know, it's just, you know, can I tell you a funny story?
Yeah, please do.
Okay, so I have a dream, and in the dream, I am singing. And people
Wow.
will say, why are you singing? And in my dream, I explain to them that when you feel really bad and you feel bad for a really long time, and all of a sudden you start feeling better, you feel like you want to sing.
Aw.
Even in my dream, which was like, okay, I'm even happy in my dreams. This is really something else here. So, but that's the truth of it. The truth is that, you know, when you're suffering with brain chemistry issues, when you do get relief and you do feel better, you are just so grateful. You're so grateful. I'm so grateful to Janine for having shared that with me. And I've known her longer. I've known her for a longer time, and we just never had talked about it, never discussed it. But just this one day, she happened to just kind of bring it out to my attention, and I'm like, okay, I'm on board. Let's go do it. I got it that day, and it's just been, you know, it's been an uphill. It's not been an uphill climb. It's just been an uphill progress since the day I started taking it. And I haven't noticed any side effects at all. I don't feel funny. I don't feel, you know what I mean? I don't feel like I'm high. I don't feel anything different other than my mood is much better, much lighter, and I seem to be coping better. As your brother said too, you know, even when stressful things come, it's like, okay, it's no big deal. You know, just get through it, do what you got to do, and move
That's
on.
amazing. Because I think we're also very highly sensitive people. I don't know if you've heard that term before. Highly sensitive person, someone who their processes are very deep, and we can be a bit frazzled because we absorb emotions from other people a lot. And I think we have a propensity for that, but it sounds like, yeah, if it's working for Ethan, then
Well,
that's huge.
you especially know about the sensory integration dysfunction.
Yeah, I still struggle with that. I still, you know, I'm certainly feeling better because I put a lot of time and energy into my own well-being, especially energetically. But I still get sensory overload pretty much almost every day, if I'm being fully honest. It doesn't take much to overwhelm me. And also, I do a lot of energy clearing for myself, Reiki and plant medicine. And that really helps a lot to clear my energy channels. But they don't stay clear because my brain isn't making those chemicals. So it's still a daily effort of, okay, I might have to sit in meditation for 2 hours to even function, and it would be really nice to speed up that process. Not that not that you should speed up that process, but if your brain's needing something extra and there's a healthy way to do that, that's always better than nothing or going for pharmaceuticals that give you bad side effects.
Well, absolutely. And the fact that it's a natural occurring amino acid in our body, it's a building block of proteins, and they're in different orders, and that's how, we make and build our own protein. It's critical. So when we don't have it for whatever reason, whether it's environmental or if it's from our food or whatever it is, maybe it's we spend too much time on our devices, who knows? But the thing is that I'm not alone in being deprived of being able to make the dopamine, and I'm feeling the benefits of being able to have that function in my body again naturally.
It's amazing. Yeah, even just hearing about it, the hair on my arms are standing up because I know that this is something that's going to really help people. And
Yeah,
it's crazy to me that it's there and it's not even that expensive.
It's pretty amazing. It's just, like anything else, it's, if you could get it in the plants, you could do it that way, but, they've actually found it in the body, and they've been able to figure it out chemically and make it synthetically. So, but it's a pharmaceutical grade, so it's as pure as you're going to get. The other thing is that I want to mention to you is I'm not sure that not everybody knows what sensory integration dysfunction is. So you might at some point want to explain what that is. But this kid hated lines on her socks, tags in her clothes, the feeling of brushing her hair or anything. Her sensory cells were so highly stimulated that everything was almost too much.
Oh, yeah. And it's still true. I've really learned how to deal with it, but especially at nighttime, if I'm trying to sleep, if the covers aren't on me properly or something is not sitting on me right, forget it. I'm not going to fall asleep for hours.
Yeah. It's just that, it's just the overload you're just super sensitive. Just the way. Janini, did you find the other YouTube video? Are you still looking?
No, there's a few of them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I would just suggest you could just type in L-Tyrosine on the YouTube thing and do a search and see different things. But the kid that was doing the one that I saw did link it definitely with the thyroid. And it could be that it was a lack of, proper hormone functioning. And knowing history with hormones, I'm saying, okay, that makes really good sense to me because, like I said, I needed hormones to keep my pregnancy. I needed hormones to deliver my pregnancy. So I've been always at some point unbalanced in that area, obviously. So it makes sense to me. It certainly has helped me, and it has helped your brother. So I'd say get yourself a bottle and check it out.
Yeah, I think I will. And I would love to check back in with you after you talk to your therapist and see whether you are going off your Prozac slowly.
Well, I'm going to be interested to see what she says because I'm going to be telling her that an over-the-counter amino acid did more for me than antidepressant medication. I don't know how she's going to process that. I mean, she seems like a very nice woman, and she may be fine with it, but she could also think that, maybe it's this placebo effect or something, but it's absolutely not. I can absolutely tell you that this is not a placebo effect. This isn't wishful thinking. This is reality. You are going to feel a lot better emotionally.
Oh, that sounds like such that falls on not deaf ears. It is the sound for sore ears, something like that. But I think there's quite a lot of people out there that will get a lot out of this. So I really appreciate you sharing your experience.
You know what? For $16, You spent $16 on a whole lot things of less value. You know, it's worth the try.
That's like 2 weeks worth of coffees.
There you go. There you go. So, any other questions?
Yeah, I don't know if there's anything else you would like to talk about. I think you really covered it really well, and I will find those YouTube links to share
Yep.
that. And
So
I
I
would
would,
really love to follow up with you because I know a lot of people that are trying to wean down on their SSRIs or even worse, in my opinion, MAO inhibitors. Those are train wrecks of medication. But I would
well,
love to hear your experience, at least with the SSRI.
I think that you might want to do a little research when you're on that kind of medication to see that there is no interaction, because I can't say that there is or there isn't. I haven't had any side effects, but I am not on an MOI, and you know, I haven't had any interactions with any of the medications I do take. So, you know, it's worth a shot to look into before you try it, because you don't want to set yourself up for something worse.
No, and it's always good to work with somebody that you trust. It's good that you're going to a therapist and to do it properly, because to just go full turkey on medication is really not good for you.
Yeah. Well, and for Ethan, he hadn't been on medication, but needed to be, was struggling, but didn't get to the doctor to get back on it again. And he benefited from it, and that's the only thing he's taking.
Woohoo. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, both of you, for taking some time to do this video. I've been really excited about it for a while now. Yeah. And I hope that you update me. Thank you, Miss Lala, for your time.
Did you hear that little snort?
She did it. Say, you're
Thank
welcome.
you. Say la la. It's a good baby.
Yeah.
Mwah. Much love to the three of you.
Okay, thank
All
you.
right. You take care. Have a good day.
You too.
Love you.
Love you
Love
too.
you.
All right.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye bye.